I'm Tom from DIY Life Tech, and I'm experimenting here with making solar coffee. So I'm going to use this very hot sun here in California to see if I can brew some basically cold brew coffee, except it's not going to be cold because it's going to be in the sun. And I think there's going to be some big advantages here. I can extract more from the coffee, can probably heat it up and get a nice, probably not fully, boiling hot, obviously, but a nice hot cup of coffee. So I'm going to start out by going for the same ratio I would use to make a cold brew concentrate. I've got a mason jar here, which is what I'm going to use to actually brew this. I've got my Starbucks breakfast blend coffee over here, and I'm just going to do a small amount to get started here. So I'm going to do a 1-to-4 ratio, which is sort of the standard for cold brew blend, which would be a 1/4 cup of the grounds, and then 4 of these, or 1 cup of water. So let's go ahead and put this into my mason jar here. I did wash this jar out before starting to use it. So there's our coffee, and then let's get our water. This is my 4th of these, so we've got a cup of water. I'm just adding in to the mason jar here. It's not gonna fill it all the way. I could probably almost double this, but I'm just gonna start with a smaller amount. Now let's go ahead and seal up that jar. Okay, so that's all nicely sealed. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up, and I'm gonna give it a good shake. Just mix the grounds and the water in really well there. Get that started. Should be totally hermetically sealed here on the jar. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take this outside. All right, here's my jar. Nice hot California sunshine today. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this down on a concrete surface, and I'm gonna flip it upside down because I wanna get the most sunshine in there as possible. The lid here is obviously opaque, so I don't wanna have the sun hitting that. I want it to go through the glass itself here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and invert that, set it out there in the sun, and then let's give it some time. I'll come back and see how effectively that's extracted. The combination of that heat, the enclosed surface here, how well that's going to have extracted from the grounds, some good coffee extract. Now I left this in the sun for about 45 minutes. We've got the nice hot pavement here. It looks like it did leak a little bit. I guess my seal on here wasn't perfect. Let's just go ahead and invert that. It's definitely absorbed quite a lot of that good California sunshine. And let's go ahead and open it up. You can see it's actually almost like, it seems like it's under pressure now as a result of being baked in the sun like that. Now I decided I'm gonna make this into I can see, wow, look, almost like some crema on the top of that, like it was an espresso or something. I'm gonna make it into an iced coffee. So I've got my ice in this cup. I think it's gonna be tastier that way. If I feel the temperature, it's lukewarm. It's not so hot that I would wanna drink it as hot coffee. So now I've just got the gold cone from a coffee maker here. You can use any kind of filter. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in. And you can see it's definitely extracted a lot of goodness out of those coffee grounds. It really looks just like I've got brewed coffee here. And I'm curious of what the strength is gonna be on this, whether it's sort of equivalent of a cold brew type of concentrate. I've got some water here if I need to dilute it a bit, or if it's really gonna be more like just a drip coffee that I happen to have brewed using the sunshine. So let's mix it up here, let it cool for a second and taste it. All right. Yeah, really, it has that almost like that cold brew flavor to it, where it's smooth, it's not that acidic, it doesn't taste like drip coffee, but it doesn't taste quite as concentrated as like a full cold brew concentrate. So maybe I'll dilute this a bit, but I think what I've been able to do basically is almost make like a cold brew, but in 45 minutes instead of the normal 24-hour extraction time, just using the sun and the heat to get a bit more out. It doesn't taste scorched or burned at all like drip coffee can. It definitely does have that cold brew flavor. So I'd call it like sun or solar accelerated cold brew. It's really what this tastes most like. Not sure again how concentrated it is. It doesn't taste as intense as cold brew extract, but I'll probably just put a bit of water in it and maybe a little cream and enjoy the rest of this drink. So you definitely can use the sun to pretty quickly make, again, something not akin to drip coffee, but more like a cold brew concentrate.